We stand upon the land that carries the footsteps of millennia of Kumeyaay people. They are a people whose traditional lifeways intertwine with a worldview of earth and sky in a community of living beings. This land is part of a relationship that has nourished, healed, protected, and embraced the Kumeyaay people to the present day. It is part of a worldview founded in the harmony of the cycles of the sky and the balancing forces of life. For the Kumeyaay, the red and black represent the balance of those forces that provide for harmony within our bodies as well as the world around us. As students, faculty, staff, and alumni of San Diego State University, we acknowledge this legacy from the Kumeyaay. We promote this balance in life as we pursue our goals of knowledge and understanding. We find inspiration in the Kumeyaay spirit to open our minds and hearts. It is legacy of the red and black. It is the land of the Kumeyaay. Yechan, my heart is good.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for the kickoff event for our new strategic plan, We Rise, We Defy, Transcending Borders, Transforming Lives. I'm Luke Wood, and I serve as Vice President for Student Affairs and Campus Diversity. I have the distinct honor of having served as the co-chair of the Strategic Planning Committee and now as co-chair of the Strategic Plan's implementation process, and also welcoming each of you this morning. I'm joined today by key members of SDSU's leadership team, President Adela De La Torre, Provost Hector Ochoa, Chief Financial Officer Agnes Wong Nickerson, and Chief Information Officer Jerry Sheehan. Together, we thank you for joining us for this historic occasion. We would not have a clearly defined plan that respects the input of our campus community without the dedication of the 32-member Strategic Planning Steering Committee. This team devoted months to listening and learning as our community, including many of you who have joined us today, provided valuable perspectives and insights. Ultimately, this input defined the priorities that will drive our shared vision over the next 5 years. It was only 1 year ago today, this month, that we set out on an ambitious plan to define the strategic activities that resulted in our We Rise, We Defy strategic plan. Many of you have been involved since the very beginning, and we thank you for your commitment. As we formally and officially kick off the strategic plan today, I want you to keep a few figures in mind. 3,939. That is the number of students, faculty, staff, alumni, and community members who actively engaged in the strategic planning process. You provided critical insights, creative ideas, and needed personal perspectives to help define what is now our 5-year framework. 54. With our community's input, we came to 54 specific time-determined activities. Each activity is unique to our campus and this moment in our history. Each activity is designed to move our university into a new historic era. We will develop new programs, introduce new academic programs, elevate our research, and always at the core of what we do, enhance the student experience so that every one of our students can be successful. No matter who they are, no matter where they are from, no matter where they want to go. 216. That is the number of people now formally designated as implementation team members. With the implementation team selected, we will passionately rise together and work to fulfill our strategic plan goals. I now have the pleasure of introducing SDSU's Chief of Staff, Brittany Santos-Derrick.
Early last year, SDSU President Adela de la Torre charged us with initiating the very process that helped us to arrive at the framework we are now implementing. For 123 years, our university has overcome every range of challenges. We have been through earlier economic downturns and recessions. We have overcome the limitations of a master plan that has imposed restrictions on how we have been able to physically grow our campuses. We have seen a history of social unrest, some of which contributed to the many critical programs we now have. Those include women's studies and Africana studies, and also centers that serve those who are African American, Native and Indigenous, Latinx, and members of the LGBTQIA communities, among many others. When we look to our history, our new strategic plan, We Rise, We Defy, acknowledges and respects our past and forecasts our future. We may not know precisely what challenges are before us, given the unpredictable nature of the pandemic. What we do know, however, is that our new strategic plan will shield our university from more devastating economic downturns that undoubtedly will come. To speak more about the importance of our new strategic plan, whose development came by her charge last year, I introduce SDSU President Adela de la Torre.
Good morning, and thank you to everyone for joining us and for taking part in our new vision to move our community forward for the next 5 years. San Diego State University has always prepared its students to be creators and innovators. We Rise, We Defy honors that history and the traditions of our campus. I want to comment on the title of our plan. We Rise, We Defy signifies our attitude heading into a more hopeful, more certain future, one that we define. In the face of obstacles, we don't retreat. We defy expectations and doubts. We move forward with resolve. We come together as a community and get the job done. Mission Valley is a key example. So are our students and our alumni. So are our faculty. They do groundbreaking research and service and bring in more external grant dollars than a number of UCs, despite a system of barriers. We defy expectations, driven by the public good. When we set out last September to create our new strategic plan, we had no indication how our world and our lives would be upended. The first indications of a global pandemic became apparent just as we were finalizing the strategic priorities earlier this year. And around the same time, we had to swiftly shift from in-person to virtual instruction. We then revisited the priorities and values that were drafted at that time and asked our strategic planning groups, our students, our university senate, our alumni, does this plan still hold? The feedback was clear. While timelines for implementation were adjusted, the values, the priorities remained the same. They represented more than 4,000 voices, more than 4,000 visions for SDSU, and they were uncowed by the challenges of the time. What I appreciate about We Rise, We Defy is that while we did not forecast when this project began, having to temporarily maintain our academic mission through a dramatically changed environment, the plan itself calls for resilience and flexibility to respond to an unpredictable future. The words, we rise, we defy, were carefully selected and are more than a mantra. They are a reminder of our tenacity and our commitment to always place the success of our students and of our mission at the core of our duty. So why is a strategic plan necessary? Why now? The world is demanding that we change. The future of higher education will be different from what we have ever seen. Some aspects of the virtual realm, such as the benefits of connecting virtually rather than in person, especially for those of us who are place-bound or struggle with travel, will remain with us. Expectations for how we teach and how students learn will be changed. They are already changed. The workforce and their expectations for new skilled leaders is in flux. Without a strategic plan, we risk inertia carrying us forward without adapting and becoming less and less relevant to what our students need to succeed. This is true for all students, but as always, poorly designed systems have disproportionate impacts. Through our strategic plan, we will reduce equity gaps among our students, faculty, and staff. We will create new graduate level programs, new opportunities for adult learners, and new pathways for traditional students. Our strategic plan is a living document. It guides our priorities and our areas of responsibility. It helps us to understand who we are and what we value, and is meant to position us for a better future, no matter what is headed our way. At this time, which is both challenging and so precious, we must remember who we are. We are a community of innovators. Our students demand different and more relevant educational experiences, as do their families. And with such a solid imprint within the communities we serve, we must always be responsive to the needs of people beyond our campus boundaries. Only years ago, Mission Valley seemed impossible. And yet, here we are, having broken ground on a project to expand SDSU's educational, research, and entrepreneurial missions for decades to come. We are a community of wayfinders. When we're told that the conjoined identity of being a Hispanic serving institution and a highly regarded research institution was incongruent, we found a way. We have pushed limits, and we have not restricted our ability to advance meaningful research that benefits our communities and those around the world. We always find a way. We are a community of winners. Last year, we cheered our men's basketball team through the longest winning streak in the nation. We had two former Aztecs who were MVPs in the same year, Kawhi Leonard in the NBA Finals and Steven Strasburg in the World Series. In February, SDSU's Women in Dive won its second consecutive Mountain West Championship. SDSU astronomers helped discover 3 new exoplanets in 2019 and 20. And when the pandemic began and much-needed ventilators were in short supply, our mechanical engineers answered a U.S. Department of Defense design challenge and built a prototype for a low-cost assisted breathing device. We are a community of care. The level of compassion and care I see daily among our students, faculty, staff, and donors who support our efforts. This is something special. Whether it's students gathering together to dance to raise funds for Rady's Children's Hospital or committing 80,000 hours for community service each year, we make a difference. We Rise, We Defy is our new ethos for our campus community. But really, we have held this tenacious spirit for decades. When we face opposition, we rise. When we are presented with the seemingly impossible, we defy. We push the boundaries of technology through research. We create economic opportunity for every region in which we are physically located. And we are expanding educational access for students around the world. This is the true fabric of SDSU. Our strategic plan is both aspirational and inspirational, but is not merely full of dreams. We rise, we defy is both our mantra and our North Star. I hope that every one of you will turn this framework to guide you as you are creating a better future for our students and the many communities we serve. Again, I thank you for your part in developing this plan and for every effort to actualize the goals we have defined for ourselves.
Thank you, President de la Torre. Good morning, everyone. We rise, we defy, drew on the aspirations of our campus community. We were so careful in our planning, mostly to avoid a small, select group of people holding all of the power and authority to decide our future. Instead, we spent months hosting roundtables and working sessions to deeply analyze who we are and where we want to go as a campus community. So many of you shared your aspirations and passions and gave new ideas for how we could deliver a valuable education to our students, expand our research impact, and improve the value we add to our regional communities. Consultants familiar with strategic plan initiatives at other universities across the nation suggested that participation among 1,500 individuals would be sufficient and expected for a university of our size. But, as Vice President Luke Wood mentioned, we heard from nearly 4,000 people. This level of participation revealed the true spirit of San Diego State University. We're an impassioned community that already keeps students at our core and cares deeply about our academic and research missions. Just as we spent months capturing those perspectives and ideas, we spent more time interpreting and analyzing all the input and using it to establish a strong 5-year framework. The resulting 5 priorities and 54 activities reflect the love and care so many of you have for our university and community, and the devotion we each have in making San Diego State University an even more powerful place for learning, teaching, research, and creating connections. It is our responsibility to respect those thousands of voices in what is now our collective and shared vision. My hope is that every single one of you will find some motivation in one or more of our 5 priorities and realize the contributions you can and should make in bringing our strategic plan to fruition. Collectively, we commit to evolving our campus into a new model that will have a global perspective and worldwide reach. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Ochoa. Good morning, everyone. I am Agnes Swall-Nickerson, Interim Vice President for Business and Financial Affairs and Chief Financial Officer. I have the great privilege of serving alongside with Luke Wood as co-chair of the strategic plan's implementation process. I'm thrilled to be joined by all of you as we enter into a new era of We Rise, We Defy. During the development phase of the new strategic plan, we collectively recognize that fiscal resilience and sustainability are critical principles to be incorporated across the 5 priorities. Considering the economic uncertainty associated with the pandemic, it's even more important now to emphasize these principles. Our commitment to fiscal stewardship and the campus priorities established in this new strategic plan will help guide us in making budget and resource allocations in the coming years. I'm pleased to share that with each priority, there's a strong focus on diversifying funding streams and revenue generation, which will help us achieve our long-term goal of sustaining value and financial health for generations to come. In alignment with We Rise, We Defy, we will continue to explore innovative ways to improve and support the financial standing of our university. In past years, we focused on growing summer enrollment and increasing non-resident enrollment to expand revenue. Also in the past, We looked for ways to reduce redundancy. For example, we consolidated the shipping and receiving departments of the campus and research foundation into one. This lowered cost, and the savings were redirected to support research. I look forward to working together on developing plans to deliver on the university's new strategic priorities. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Emilio Ulloa, Professor of Psychology, Chair of HSI Affairs, and the Associate Dean of Students and Campus Climate. I'm honored to talk to you about the Equity and Inclusion in Everything We Do priority. Through this priority, SDSU is affirming its commitment to becoming a global leader in advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion in research, teaching, and community engagement. Equity will be a key component in everything we do. And we need it to be the work of everyone, not just a few people or offices. Together, we will be vigilant stewards of an environment where community members of all identities can thrive. And we will do this while embracing our identity as a Hispanic serving institution and recognizing our residence on Kumeyaay land. Now, there are scores of activities that help us get to that goal and communicate to the SDSU community that equity is a core value. These include ensuring that every major campus unit has a standing diversity council to better coordinate and promote unit-specific diversity, equity, and inclusion activities. Implementing an onboarding program that emphasizes SDSU's values and educates all newly hired employees and new students about implicit bias, inclusive communication, designation and identity as a Hispanic serving institution, and connection with the Kumeyaay people. And ensuring participation in professional learning on inclusive practices for all committees responsible for admissions and also search, retention, tenure, and promotion of employees. In addition, establishing and providing institutional support for structured mentoring programs for all faculty and staff. Together, we will be able to rise as a community and build an equitable future. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Hala Madanat, the Interim Vice President for Research and Innovation. In this role, I have the privilege of leading our efforts in becoming a premier public research university, a new kind of HSI. SDSU will forge a well-planned strategic path to becoming an R1 doctoral university where excellence and access converge. To achieve this, SDSU will leverage its unique status as a border-connected, community-engaged Hispanic-serving institution. We are committed to developing infrastructures and resources that enable research activity to grow. We will assess what resources are needed to grow the university's research infrastructure. And to that end, we will develop proposals for 3 new collaborative research centers with external funding that will attract motivated students and faculty researchers to SDSU. We will propose 8 to 10 new strategically placed PhD programs while advocating for the authority to offer independent doctorate degrees. We will conduct hires of faculty members clustered around public-facing, border, and indigenous scholarship. We want to build a diverse research community that better reflects our region's demographics and offers opportunities for underrepresented minorities, both students and faculty, to advance their research careers. We will focus on our impactful research to improve quality of life and engage our local communities. This is an amazing time for us to not only advance scientific discovery and artistic creation as universities always have, but to expand our reach and ensure that everyone has access to learn and create.
Hello, my name is Jim Herrick and I'm the Assistant Vice President for SDSU Alumni. As a member of the Strategic Planning Executive Committee, and along with colleagues Radhika Seshan and Edgar Hodge, I had the privilege of chairing one of the 5 pillars of the strategic plan, resilience designed to thrive. This priority combines the concepts of revenue growth, fiscal responsibility, and environmental stewardship under an umbrella of sustainability. The concept is that for the ensured viability of San Diego State University in the long run, that we prioritize initiatives bolstering revenue, that we allocate resources with transparency, equity, and accountability, and that we embrace the principles of responsible environmental stewardship. Some of our specific activities include that we will develop 1-year and subsequent 4-year revenue plans for 11 campus entities, including auxiliaries. That we develop and align a process for multi-year objective setting and budget planning for the university. And finally, that the campus designate an executive-level leadership position to develop and provide oversight of SDSU's sustainability efforts. Our Resilience Designed to Thrive team included remarkably knowledgeable students who are resolutely committed to the environment, along with faculty, staff, deans, and administrators who believe in our university, and input from community members and alumni. The group forged a plan for San Diego State University to remain resilient and to thrive for another 100 years.
Hello, I am Victor Nava, Director of Development and P3 Initiatives with SDSU Imperial Valley. I'd like to tell you about the We Are SDSU priority. Under a single name and across every SDSU campus and program location, our mission is to support the educational and economic development of the communities we serve. This will create a sense of unified belonging for students, faculty, staff, and alumni, spanning the entire California-Mexico border and serving the world. As part of our activities, we plan to, 1, establish a campus-wide working group to explore university industry partnerships that build alliances which benefit all university campuses. 2, pilot a daily shuttle service between the SDSU main campus and SDSU Imperial Valley campus locations. 3, assess instructional and informational technology and implement an action plan to interconnect campuses, international partners, and the campus community. And 4, to establish an SDSU microsite at every community college and SDSU service areas. We are poised to grow and build on the progress we've made so far and serve our communities with deeper engagement and responsive dialogues. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Christian Holt, Associate Students President. I'm excited to talk to you about the students at our core priority. Through this priority, SDSU commits to a future where all students are able to achieve their greatest potential. Students at our core highlights 2 important principles: affordability and access to higher education. These factors will allow SDSU to continue to serve a diverse population and will set SDSU apart from other institutions. We will foster and sustain regional partnerships with K-12 schools, community colleges, and other organizations to promote college readiness and college-going culture. And will increase the number of SDSU Global Campus adult learners by 25%. To ensure that all members of the campus community are prepared to advance student success, we will provide faculty members and advisors with information on equity gaps in their classrooms and research-informed recommendations in professional development to support their teaching. Student success and well-being is important both inside and outside of the classroom. So we'll implement a wellness toolkit for faculty and staff to further promote the resources available for students through counseling and psychological services and the economic crisis response team to support student mental health and basic needs. And a new multidisciplinary space will serve as a wellness hub for presentations and workshops, and where students can receive one-on-one personalized support from ECRT managers and community partners. With an enduring commitment to innovation and resilience, we will cultivate a university culture and infrastructure that facilitates a student-centered lifelong educational journey, supported by every member of the SDSU community.
As we just highlighted on our new philanthropy website, for decades, generous contributions have helped SDSU open doors for students to follow their dreams while having an experience of a lifetime. Impact-driven philanthropy grants a passport for students to explore learning and unlock their potential as they prepare for lifelong successful careers. Philanthropy will help us effectuate the goals outlined in the strategic plan. As an example, we want to be a premier public research institution. To do that, we need philanthropy in support of research. Fortunately, nearly everyone can make a difference. from the smallest donor who participates in a crowdfunding project to the major gift donor who gifts real estate. Also, we receive many gifts from people who want to make a difference after they pass away by naming SDSU as a beneficiary of an estate plan. We appreciate the donors who support a wide variety of projects, like Richard Woodcock, who has gifted $300,000 since 2017 for SDSU's Rocket Project, and Stephen Bishop, who just made a $50,000 gift in support of the Black Resource Center and scholarships. Many small donations supported the Economic Crisis Response Team Fund, which helps our students who need it most. Development is a team sport, and we're really pleased you're on the team. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us to celebrate this momentous occasion. We Rise, We Defy is the culmination of a year's worth of planning and preparation, and it proudly echoes the shared ideas and visions of our students, faculty, staff, alumni, and community members. While our kickoff event has come to a close, there are several ways to remain engaged in the implementation of our strategic directions, goals, and activities. In order to truly grasp what it is we are aspiring to achieve, I encourage you to read the complete strategic plan report on the University Strategic Plan website. The plan is a reflection of our diverse population and various needs, and it belongs to everyone associated with San Diego State. With that being said, please share our new plan with current and incoming campus community members, general community members, and prospective community members, whether it be through volunteering, offering consultation, making a donation, or requesting more information about the plan for your unit or organization. We sincerely appreciate all forms of ongoing assistance. Visit our strategic plan website to access the Support the Plan page, where you can decide your preferred method of support. This is an exciting and meaningful time for all of us at SDSU. SDSU Imperial Valley, SDSU Georgia, and our microsites. Last month, we broke ground on SDSU Mission Valley, and this month, we welcome a new direction for our institution. These next 5 years will be critically important to the future of San Diego State University, and we urge you to remain involved. Thank you again.